what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
If we could see the future, babe, you might understand that it's all up to you, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 73, volume 4 of our special week after July 4th edition of Big Fan. You'll remember previous after 4th of July classics like, quote, the one where we caught Al Gargis' yard on fire from a stray firework. Or, how could you forget, quote, the one we all got lost at the Southport Parade and ended up at the bar some 3 hours later. Or maybe my all-time favorite, quote, the one we planned to take it easy on the lake but ended up on some random boat doing upside-down monkey chugs at the sandbar. Hank, those are my 4th of July memories. They really stand out.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sure we're reminding our neighbors why we should not buy 12-year-olds firecrackers, especially from South Carolina. It's been a rough week for them.
Rough week. Hang on. My name is Chad East, and I am a big fan of hotels with indoor water parks, sports bars, and escape rooms. Room service that actually tastes good. And coming back from vacation a day before you have to go to work and it's raining so you don't feel bad laying around in your underwear watching Wimbledon all morning.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
My name's Hank Eimer, and I'm a big fan of spending a week in baseball heaven. Sitting in your carport after doing yard work all day and getting to watch an afternoon rainstorm.
Lovely, Hank.
And finally, not having to suffer with terrible toys for your kids because they've grown out of them
Yes.
for their birthday.
Yeah, so birthday coming up from Harris, I take it.
Yes,
it
that's
is today.
Tomorrow.
Coming to you live from Hickory, North Carolina, July the 13th. So, Hank, what is on the agenda for Harris's birthday? Then we'll jump into our after 4th of July festivity, the episode where we talk about what happened during the 4th. Go ahead.
We are having Dumb and Dumber over, some of his buddies, I'm sure. And I think we're just going to marinate.
Is this 13?
This 13.
Whoa, that's a big year. Teenager.
It is a big year.
Teenage time.
You've gone through both.
Yeah.
Your girls are both teenagers. So, we'll see. I think I'm glad that it's at the end of summer because, you get this at the beginning of summer and you can get in some trouble.
Are you considering July 13th end of summer?
It's getting towards the
This
back
is the
half.
mid part of summer. This is think about this. This is when, when we were young growing up, we got out of school end of May, early June. So you had all of June. You really didn't even think about it. Toward the mid part of July, you're on the downward slope. This is when you start thinking about, yes, school is just a month and a half away.
Yeah.
Terrible feeling.
That is a terrible feeling.
So on the agenda, we're going to...
I think we're going to go to Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe. See what I'm doing here?
Yeah, you're
Hibachi,
chopping.
I'm chopping.
You're chopping. Whoa. Microphone fell.
Microphone check.
Yeah, the hibachi. That's it.
Yes.
That is a great place for COVID. And I think we're going to jump right back into it.
Yes.
So we're going to jump right into it. But, everybody wants to go to Kobe on their birthday.
Yes,
Everybody.
That's where my girls always want to go to. So after the Kobe, this is back in the day, this is what we would do. We'd eat at Kobe and then we would go to Putt-Putt, okay?
Oh, all right.
I mean, any chance Putt-Putt's on the agenda?
Maybe utterly delicious.
Utterly, of course. And Olivia's working today.
Today she's working.
She is working from 3 to close.
Okay, it's closed. What time? 9?
9-ish.
Okay.
9-ish during the week, yes.
Maybe we go there and we have us a milkshake, a
Yes.
thick milkshake, maybe a thin one.
Maybe whatever one she decides to serve you.
That's
Hank.
fine.
Yes,
that's
very
fine.
good.
So that's about the extent of it. But my big fan part is when they were little and you'd have to buy just junk for their birthday and you're like, this thing sucks.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
Yes.
Right. At least now, he wants a pair of shoes. And he wants a baseball glove and stuff like that. He wants stuff that I can get behind.
Right.
I can't get behind that other terrible stuff.
Yeah, because the other terrible stuff, it would be like one hit wonder or 1 week wonder. He'd have it or she would have it and play with it maybe just for a few minutes and then never again.
Yeah, never.
Never again.
Never.
We're tasked by Jennifer for her birthday, which was a couple weeks ago. She asked, I don't want any presents. I want you to clean out the playroom. And what the playroom is our house is the little room that's attached to the den. That's all the girls' stuff has just been put over there for years and years. So our task is to go through, these things and clean it out. We went through, do you remember these phases of little people's lives? Do you remember the slime time?
Oh, sure.
Slime was huge.
Harris
right?
his carpet is ruined in his bedroom because of it.
Same at our house. Then there was another thing. They were called squishies or
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Squishies,
about?
yeah.
Squishies, yeah. So that was another phase.
Pop
Poppets,
thing.
poppets, yeah. So that was a phase. So anyway, you're finding all of these little trinkets and doodads that lasted, some a day, some a week. The slime at our house lasted a whole summer.
Oh, wow.
That was a pretty big deal. But anyway, we're throwing it all away, Hank.
Okay,
Memories,
so can I do something?
Go ahead.
Because if this is your wife's birthday present,
Yes.
and her birthday has already come by,
Yes.
I'm going to set a date for you, and I want an update. Okay, Jennifer, this is for you. Okay, this is for you. I want by the time the kids go back in school, because once they don't go back in, once they go in school, it's over. It's over. Those girls are not going to do it. So I expect to have like video coverage of before and after. Okay, Jennifer, that was for you.
So no wonder Jennifer says she likes you so much more than me. You're always on her side.
I'm just trying
Getting
to
some tasks done.
Because if
Getting
that
some
doesn't
tasks
get done, you're the worst gift giver ever. And
Well, I'm already that anyway, but that would just put the cherry on top. But it will be done.
Okay.
Mark my word. Hank
First day
Heimer.
of school.
First day of school. It shall be.
that
clean.
gives you like a month.
I know.
and
Got plenty of time.
Okay.
Plenty of time. So speaking of time. So over the last 2 weeks, you've been on quite a few adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Some real positive and some kind of really scary and negative, which we're going to jump into.
Yeah.
Me, the same case. I went on an adventure. Well, let's start quickly with yours. Your positive adventure that you went on over the 4th.
Yeah, we went to Cooperstown. It was right before the 4th.
Right before
So that is baseball mecca.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's if you're a baseball guy, which I fancy myself, that is where you want to go. There's so much history. So we went up there for a baseball tournament, but we did the Hall of Fame. And you think this little town, why does this get it? It gives you the story of Abner Doubleday, who started baseball.
Okay.
He was from Cooperstown.
Right.
Okay. They have the very first ball that he ever made.
No way.
Stitched ball. Think about how priceless that is. The very first baseball.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have stuff like Honus Wagner's rookie or card, which is $9 million. They have Babe Ruth's World Series top to bottom, his uniform with his bat and his glove. How much is that worth? Right. Priceless. So as a baseball fan, it just walks you through it, which was incredible. It was incredible. But we also got to play in Cooperstown Dream Park, which is for a kid, it's heaven on earth. I mean, it is heaven on earth. So we play these
Probably
games.
for you.
It was.
It's a slice of heaven.
It was.
Right?
It was. Yeah. So you play baseball, you play 2 games a day, and then during your downtime, everybody would either do one of 2 things. They would trade pins with other kids because everybody had their pins, right?
Yes.
Or you'd play wiffle ball. And you'd look across the field and you'd say, hey, losers from California, you want a piece of this North Carolina action? Right? And so you would end up playing wiffle ball against other towns, other places. And so it was really cool to watch. It was a lot of work for a coach because you had to wash the uniform, get uniforms washed and get them bathed and everything. But I'd do it every summer if I could. I'd do it every summer.
Can you do it? Or
No,
is
it's
it
just
limited to
12 years
one?
old.
12 years old? That's
12 years old.
so interesting.
Because the reason that they do that is they play on a small field until they turn 13.
Oh, okay.
So they play on 50 foot from the mound to the plate and 70 feet are the bases. And those 12-year-olds hit home runs on these small fields and they feel big and they're able to score on certain balls. We're getting ready to take these boys to the big field, major league size field. And it's discouraging. You don't get hit balls out of the infield. It's just
infield,
discouraging.
sure.
So this is where you fall in love with the game.
Got it. Awesome. Well, it sounds like your team probably did during that trip. Let me tell you a little bit about my adventure. So when you were coming back from Cooperstown, I was leaving to go to Nashville, Tennessee for Lucy Rose's national dance competition. And so it's pretty awesome. Lucy went with her friends early on a Thursday or Wednesday. Jennifer drove down with her girlfriends and the moms on the next day. And then Olivia and I drove down on a Saturday. So we get down there on a Saturday. We're staying at the world-famous Gaylord Grand Ole Opry Hotel. It's the largest hotel in the country without a casino. 2,000 rooms, maybe. I don't know the exact number, but just massive. And it's 54 acres.
Wow.
And the majority of it is indoors. So you're walking from
Air
one,
conditioned?
yes, it's
Wow.
under this huge dome, Hank. It's the craziest thing. So let me just tell you a few things about the hotel, which I just thought were pretty incredible. So even when my girls were little, if we stayed at a hotel, wherever we went, the first thing we do is we go on an adventure. Let's go learn the lay of the land. So we know where the ice machine is, the concession stuff, where the pool is, where the exercise room is, where the video game arcade is, all those kinds of things. This is 54 acres. We could have stayed 2 weeks and not found everything.
Yeah.
But we get there and we say, all right, mommy's taken care of. Girls, let's go on our adventure. So we stroll down. And the only way I can describe how you could there's 8 sections. There's 6 atriums that are covered with restaurants and bars in the middle. And they break off to all these sections where the rooms are. And they're all color-coded by the carpet. So the red carpet is for Greenville section. And the blue carpet is like the whatever, what I'm saying? Just different groups.
Yeah. Are there
Madison.
shops in here too?
Dude, it's
Stores
like a
in
little
here?
city
Okay.
inside of the hotel. So the first adventure we went on, we cruised down and we found out where Lucy Rose was dancing. And I'm not kidding you. There's a convention center inside the hotel. There were ballrooms in there that were football fields long. And not 1, 20.
Wow.
That's how massive this place is. I was just blown away by it. But anyway, we find out where Lucy Rose has to dance the next day, and we go on an adventure. And so we're cruising, and then you're in a hotel, and then all of a sudden you can imagine an atrium, and you're walking over a bridge, and you look down, and there are boats, like in gondolas, going under you. There are boats that will take you from one side of the hotel to the other. Just crazy. Continue on. We get past a couple things, and I was like, man, there's got to be other stuff to do. And sure enough, we walk through this area and it's just an adults only area, meaning night. It says your place to spend the night or something. Well, you got Jack Daniel's restaurant and bar. You've got a sports bar. You've got 3 or 4 other bars and shops. It's like you're walking into an entire different city,
Right.
but you're still inside the hotel. So we get all the way through there, and the coolest part, it said the basement, these huge letters, neon sign, and it pointed to some downstairs, and it was spelled Bassment. And so when you start going down the stairs, all you hear is hip hop, boom, 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 boom. It was coming out. So you go down, and there's this huge arcade, like the arcade you would find like at Great Wolf Lodge
Oh, wow.
or something,
Right.
Connected to the Great Wolf Lodge downstairs area, the arcade, is a theater where you can, and 20 of your friends can go in and you have these fake guns and you're shooting at a screen. You've got a rock climbing wall, and it's attached to an indoor water park with one of those things you get up on the surf.
Oh, yeah.
And a wave pool.
Oh, wow.
And 2 lazy rivers. This is inside the hotel
That's
room.
crazy.
This is our first hour adventuring. Have only been to a quarter of the hotel. So the rest of the week we spent exploring, found all kinds of other great stuff. But anyway, what an opening to Nashville. What a great, great time.
I was just there a couple weeks before you.
That's right, because you suggested that we go to the Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
What's it called?
1230 Separate Club.
Yes, which
Yeah.
we did. And we stayed where the paupers stayed, which was on the first floor, where I heard you were to the second floor where the rich people go. Way to go, Hank.
You just had to walk up there.
You made it, kid. You made it. But anyway, so we did all that stuff. We went to the African American Music Museum, which was easily the coolest museum I've ever been to in my life. I mean, phenomenal.
All music based or just an African American museum?
All African American
Music,
music
okay.
museum. So, and anyway, I can't even explain it to you, but just one of the coolest museums. They did everything right. They gave you a wristband, and it give you, like, let's say there's a hip hop section and a blues section and R&B and Motown and soul. So there's these booths that you can go in, create beats, you can sing, you can do all these things, and all you do is hold your wristband up, and it hits it, and it creates a playlist of all the things that you've done. And when you get home, they email it to you. All the songs every song you listen to in there, everything you created,
cool.
All on a list for you, so you can listen to it when you get back.
I saw a picture of you with Eric B. and Rakim stuff.
Yes, so there was a whole hip hop Eric B. and Rakim section.
Yeah, I saw.
So that was the coolest. So we spent hours in there. But anyway, long story short, I'm gonna get everybody bored by the Nashville trip itself, because I'm telling you, Nashville is not a boring place by any
No,
means.
it is not.
It is the coolest.
It's alive.
So much energy. So Lucy finished first overall in 13 to 15, and then third I think overall the whole shebang.
Look at
That's the Nationals.
Look at
So
him.
how proud, just such a proud daddy. But I do have to tell you this story.
I've heard this story.
No, that's a different story. So I have never been on a trip like this with the dance crew.
I have
right?
heard this story.
I didn't tell you the whole story. So there's dance dads and there's dance moms that go on the
Sure.
trips, and their kids have been dancing together since they were 4 years old.
Is it as dramatic as the TV show would make it out to be?
No, not as dramatic, but
There's
that
drama.
is factual because there's always drama, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to get into all the
No,
drama.
no,
I
no,
just want
but-
to tell you the fun
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So these dance dads, it's kind of you got to think about this. It's almost like high school cliques, and
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the kids because, of course, they're a team, but they've got their
one bud that's better
bud-
than
exactly.
the other.
Well, the moms and dads the same exact way.
Really?
Yes. So the way it normally works is if your daughter is a certain age, those moms kind of stick together, and then the younger girls who are actually dancing with the older girls, their moms kind of stick together. Well, the dads, there's not that many of them, so there's just a solid group of 5 dads, let's say,
dads.
right? Dads. Yeah. And so what they do is, thank God none of them wear like dance dad shirts because you'll see them all over the place at dance competitions. Dance dad. My daughter is a star, and I'm the star maker. I mean, just
Oh,
weird
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, the group of 5 dads hanging out. I'm not in the clique. And so like I walk by, hey, what's up, y'all? They're like, just give me the head nod. And so I
Oh.
gotta keep on cruising on. So they're not inviting me in, that's fine. So I go and do all the events with the women, right? So I tag along with all the women to the African Music Museum. We go to 12:30 with the women. We go to this little food place.
Yeah,
that's,
it's the,
the
market.
food hall,
The food hall.
which
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
incredible.
Which is incredible.
A whole nother place. And so I'm with the women all day long. Well,
Fitting.
so there's, let's say, 10 of them and all the kids. And so when we get back to the hotel, I'm like,
I get a
I
little me time.
need a little me time. I need to have a drink, and like I want to explore all these bars that are here. It's very cool. Well, I'm walking and I see the dads. They're in a group, and I have my cooler because I was taking my little cooler everywhere, and I have my music in my Chad bag on my back.
So you're bringing beer into a restaurant?
So what they have these bars set up everywhere near the pools and all this. So I was like, I'm not going to. A beer was $14 at this place. So I had my Yeti and I'd make a little drink and I'd sit by the pool and I'd read or whatever. And so they're over there and I'm like, Chad, you know what, man? Just go over there.
Yeah.
I'm hanging over here by myself, and they're all over there taking fireballs. They're having a time.
Yeah.
So I said,
If they're reading, you wouldn't have gone over there.
exactly. So but no music. That's key. There's no music. It's just conversation and whatever.
And fireball.
And fireballs, yes. And so I got up from my chair and I went over and was like, hey guys, I don't know if y'all know me, but I'm Lucy Rose's dad. My name is Chad East, and I'm, this is my first time at Nationals. It's
First timer.
First timer
I hung
here.
out
I
with your
mean,
wife all day.
I've been with the ladies all day. I didn't say it like that, but I did say, hey, I'm Chad, and introduced myself. And they were like, yeah, we know you, Chad. And they were like, you drink? I was like, little bit. And they were like, well, sit down. So I sat down, started shooting the bull with them for a little bit. Not 15 minutes, let's say. So it's comfortable getting to know them. It's not like it's it would be, we have a little bit of rapport.
Right.
Well, then some of the moms come and they grab the dads away and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, man, we're planning to meet up at this little area here at 9. Come. And so it's about 8:15. I was like, all right, I'll see if I can get up there. So go
Men and women, or just
well, it's the dads are
Just the
planning
dads.
it, but the women come. I see.
Okay.
This is new. I didn't know this is how it worked. The dads plan the spot, and then everybody just shows up at the spot. And the spot is normally a really cool place tucked in the corner of this massive hotel where the cops and people won't come, so you can do whatever you want to do, which is just hang out. So anyway, it's about 8:55. I said, Jen, I'm going up there, and just come when you and Lucy Rose and Olivia are ready if the girls want to come. So I go up, turn my music on before I get there. So I got a beat playing when I walk up, and they were like, hey, Chad. So come over. So I come over, and the beat's popping, and so they start bopping their head. And they're like, the one thing we've been missing on all these trips is music.
music.
So I was like, well, let's begin. So I got the little speaker out, and I was like, let's all take turns picking a song that we like. And so we went around. That's how it started. And the next thing that started at 9. We were there till 1:30 in the morning.
It's the Chad East effect.
I got him.
It's
I
the Chetty
got 'em.
Bag.
Yes.
You're like the devil.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, all the moms came up. We just had a ball. So that is my story of dance dads and dance moms and how I became one.
You
Yes,
united.
Well, they were already united, but I was able to become a dance mom and a dance dad.
Is this where you danced and took off your shirt?
I danced a little bit. I sure did, Hank.
Okay.
I sure did. So anyway, there you go, Nashville.
Hey, gave it your all.
I did. And on the way home, I got to talk to you about this because I don't know if you have fallen into this cult yet, but there is a convenience store that's taking over the nation. It's called Buc-ee's.
Yep, I've heard it.
You've heard about it, right? And so I had just heard all these stories, but I'd never seen it. And I heard that they have a beef jerky bar and they make their own brisket and barbecue in there. They've got their own line of candies and chips, and it's just the biggest convenience store in the world. So when we're passing, coming back home, you see all these signs, stop here at Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's in 80 miles, kind of like how south of the border does their billboards. So finally we get there and I said, Olivia, we got to at least see this. Even if we don't go in, we've got to drive by. So of course we get off the exit. There are at least 200 gas tank things, whatever. So you pull your car up, 200. It is massive. And we pull in, and she was like, are we going in? I was like, man, we'd kill ourselves if we didn't at least walk in to see what Buc-ee's is all about. So we get out of the car, we're walking in, and we notice there's like 100 like coolers with Buc-ee's logos. There's towels hanging, there's sheets, there's bathing, all this stuff outside of Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's everywhere.
Yeah.
So we go inside, and it almost like takes you away. There's so many people, and there's so many little beaver logos of Buc-ee's everywhere. You kind of get caught up in the mix. And I said, there's the beef jerky bar. So I hustled over to the beef jerky bar. 40 flavors of beef jerky. I don't even like beef jerky that much. I ordered a pound. Come over here, I look at my right. Barbecue's up. Barbecue sandwich. I'm stuffed. I grabbed two for the road.
Two for the road.
Ice cream sundaes. Before I know it, we've dropped about, $85 in there when we weren't even going to buy anything in there. But I look around. So it's a cult. Once you get in there, they hook you. And so people had like bathing suits with little beavers on it, T-shirts, underwear, licorice. I mean, any product you can name, the Buc-ee's brand
A guy
is on
we
it.
played tennis with
Had the cooler.
the other day.
Exactly. And he got it from
And he
Buc-ee's.
actually said, would somebody like a drink from my Buc-ee cooler?
It's taking over the world, dude, so be careful.
All right.
Just don't get caught up in the hype like I did.
I'm a Skeets guy.
Okay. You mean sheets?
Sheets.
Sheets, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Take sheets, what you see it. A Buc-ee's is, I would say, 8 times.
8
It is
times?
massive. It's like a Walmart convenience store.
Wow, I got to get up on there.
It's crazy. So Buc-ee's, check it out.
I will.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, North Carolina, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
All right, Hank. So that's kind of wraps up what I did for the 4th. Saw some fireworks and all that good stuff too. But you'd had another adventure as well that was just a little bit scary over the last week.
Yeah. No, it was.
Share that with us.
It was. We do the Bear Run, which is a 5-mile run up from Linville to the Swinging Bridge, and there's about 900 people. It's one of these events that is so cool, and the registration opens up one morning at like 7 a.m. and it is done by about 7:06.
I heard it was one of the most popular races in the country.
Could be. I mean, I believe it. 900 is a really successful race. Right. So, and what makes it kind of cool is it's at night. So it starts at 7. And Linville's a small town, it's small. You start at this one stoplight, and you run up the road, and you take a right. You get on this gravel road, and you run up, and it's all uphill. You run up this gravel road, and then after about mile 2.5, you start hearing music, and you smell smoke, and you hear chanting, and you hear all this stuff, and you come out, and you're at the Highland Games.
No
and
way.
everybody like camps out for the Highland Games for a week. And so there's people there, and they're drinking and partying, and
So you're
cooking
running
it. You
through
run
this.
through them,
Oh,
and they
that's
and they
awesome.
stand in a line, and they're, hey, way to go, keep going. So and they all got kilts on and stuff, and so you run through the field, like the athletic field, where they have bleachers set up, and there's families sitting out there.
Cool.
And so you run through there, and then when the last runner goes by is when they start the Highland Games. So
No
this is like
way.
the start of the Highland Games. So when you come out of there, you go up and you run the last 2 miles to the Swinging Bridge, which is very steep, a lot of switchbacks, but beautiful view. One of the last switchbacks, or a couple of last switchbacks, is, if you remember where Forrest Gump was running, and they actually have a sign that says Forrest Gump Curve,
Okay.
and it's when he was running, he was up there. So beautiful race. I've done it probably, I don't know, six maybe times or so, and always have enjoyed it. We got a good crowd that goes up there. So we went up there, and it was myself, LT, and Leela. His wife was going to go with us, but Leela wasn't feeling good, so she gave her bib to CJ Hines.
Okay.
So we get up there, and on one side of the street, when you get your bib and you get your shirt and you go put it in the car, and then you come back out there, and then at the beginning of the race, it's always been this way ever since we did it. One side of the road has all the, like, a bunch of runners, like 700 of the 900 runners, and then another side has the stragglers, maybe 150 to 200, but still a lot of people there. And so we're sitting there, and we're just kind of relaxing, waiting for the race to start. And we're about 10 minutes away, and I'm facing a van that was used to take medals up to the top and take people up to the top. And it was a race use van.
Yeah.
And I see it start to move, and the guy hits the gas, and it starts barreling towards us, right?
How far were you from the van?
30 feet, maybe.
Wow.
Okay. Maybe 30, probably 30, 40 feet. So he hits a lady, and she kind of bounces off. And right then everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa. But that lady doesn't, she cuts her leg when she gets a contusion on her head. But she doesn't, she's okay.
Right.
Then you hear people like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he is accelerating at this point. That's when I felt like it was like not a terrorist attack,
Sure.
but like I felt like somebody was doing something to harm
Purposely,
people.
yeah.
And so he kept accelerating. Well, this other guy that was standing, I would say 8 to 10 feet from me, he tries to run to avoid the car, and he gets hit, and he goes under the wheel, and it compound fractures his leg. At that point, I start running, and there was a lady beside him that actually went under the van, and she actually was killed in this thing.
Terrible.
And so we had a good friend of ours that was standing right there, and the van kept accelerating after hitting these people, and it hit that side by side that our friend was sitting at, LT was sitting at.
Yeah.
And when I was running, I had my back to where he would have been. And when I spun around and I saw it hit that, I was like, LT's hurt. Like there's no way he avoided
That's
that.
exactly the spot where he was standing.
Exactly. I was like, there's no way he avoided it, because he wasn't beside me, because he didn't run with me, but he had ran backwards, and with the car turning, it missed him.
Yeah.
He was inches away from getting hit.
Holy cow.
And, the sad thing is when the van hit the road, the guy who was 80 plus years old got his senses back. He panicked. He said it, there wasn't any malfunction or anything. He panicked, and he got it in drive. And, you got to think how odd that situation is, because a lot of people are like, who's this guy who's out to hurt us? And then
Right.
out pops this 80-year-old man who's obviously very hurt by the scenario, and he wants to help. And then people are like, what are you doing? It was a weird,
what
it was a weird
scenario.
scene.
Yeah.
But there were doctors and nurses everywhere that came out of the woodwork to help all these people. And, there were luckily, you think about 900 people standing right there. 3 were injured and 1 ultimately lost her life. But it was a awful occurrence. It is the definition of accident. It is also the definition of anything can happen. You got to have your wits about you wherever you are, because that lady certainly didn't anticipate having that happen to her that evening.
And it's also like seconds. Like let's say LT it hesitates for another second.
Yeah.
It could have been terrible. Or let's say Leela, she gave her bib to CJ.
Yep.
Leela might have been standing beside her. That just
Yeah.
makes you think of all these small little details that if 1 or 2 seconds change or a decision changes, then everything changes.
Yeah. And if
So,
if
wow.
that guy wouldn't have turned, now I see why he turned, because he wanted to get on the street, I guess. I don't know, because
yeah.
he was turning towards the street. But if he would have stayed straight, there would have been 5 guys from Hickory that would have been messed up. you know? And so, and it is kind of funny. The first lady that got hit that had the head contusion, the guy that had a compound fracture, from what I understand, they're husband and wife, because they would have been side by side, or side. And, but you're right. I thought about what if Leela would have been standing beside him? CJ was beside me.
Right.
And so like I said, we were feet away from it where LT was inches away from it. But you're right. What if, LT was looking in another direction?
Yeah.
For that much longer. So it was a terrible situation. And you saw everybody, the other thing is when you're in a crowd like that and there's something happened, there is, and I don't judge anybody on this, there's how people react to a situation. Some people cannot be near it, there are people that were walking down the road, could not be near it. There are people that run towards it and want to help.
Yes.
And there's people that are like support of that. And it kind of reminds you of, like when there's trouble, our soldiers are running towards bullets,
right.
And that's kind of what, you see people, how they all interact, but it was a weird and crazy evening. Obviously they called the race off. They wanted to try to, and I appreciate them wanting to do it. They wanted to try to run it after the scene was cleared and safe. And everybody said that they wanted to run it. He asked if there any objection, and nobody objected to it. But later found out because they had all the EMS was using on the people that were injured, they didn't have any help on there. And then God forbid somebody have a heart attack during the race, or something else happened. Yeah. So they decided not to do it.
Think about that too. Your adrenaline has at an all-time high after something like that, right? Oh, yeah. And then to come back down, and some people were probably in shock. I mean, I can't even imagine the emotions that are going through like what y'all went through. And then that's a tough race. Then you got to rally all your energy and power from within, and you need your adrenaline to kick in at some time too. Well, you just used it all during that event, so that would be tough to run. But anyway, yeah, that's a scary, scary story. I'm glad that y'all are okay. Anyway, tough to think just seconds and inches away from really bad stuff. But anyway, so let's go to a little happier time, Hank. Let's go. So I was sitting in the hotel in Nashville. Because Lucy Rose would dance early in the morning, and I would kind of me and Livy would hang back, and the movie Tommy Boy popped on. And you remember Tommy Boy?
Love it.
Classic from the early, let's say, mid-90s, let's say maybe 96, 97, something like that. And we were watching it, and I was like, oh, Olivia, I remember this movie from right out of college. And I was just curious. So back in the day, I like to watch comedy movies, which you did too, right? And we've got some of our favorites and all that good stuff. And so I started grouping them in times of my life. I had the Tommy Boy group, and that was like Tommy Boy and Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura and Mask. That was right my 96, 95, 96, 97, right out of college kind of comedies. And it seemed like I'd always watch them in the summer.
Yeah.
Summer reminds me of watching comedies. I don't know.
Right.
Whether it be at the movie theater with my buddies during summer vacation or whatever. And so I got that little group. And then I was like, well, what other groups are there? So then I remember the early 2000 groups. That was like Old School and Anchorman and Hangover and Wedding Crashers and all that group. And it seemed like they came out boom, 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 boom during the summer. That's when we watched them. And then I even started thinking back even further. So I had a junior high kind of comedy list. So when I was in junior high, it was like Pee-wee, well, that's probably a little bit older, or younger, Coming to America and like Revenge of the Nerd and Spaceballs and The Toy and Summer Rental and all those. And so I piece all these together in my mind, and I was thinking, back then, all of those that I named are 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, none of them are bad.
Sure.
It's fantastic. But would they still hold up?
Yeah.
So that was the question I asked myself.
Yeah.
So when I got back home, and I know this will be blasphemy on the show. I know it will be, because you're a big fan, and I know our producer Moose is. But I'll just go down, I'll start with one, like Spaceballs. When I'm little, nothing is funnier. There is nothing funnier than the lines, which you have one of your favorite lines.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say it if you like.
To comb the beach.
Yeah.
Have you found anything? No, I haven't. How about you? Nothing here, sir. How about y'all? We haven't found shit.
Yes, exactly, which is a classic. Everybody loves that line. And, everybody loves that movie. So I went back when I got home from Nashville, and I started going through a couple of these movies. Spaceballs.
Not your joint.
Does not hold up. It's not that it's not my joint. It just does not hold up. It's not funny anymore
It's
to me.
funny. It's
You know?
funny. And Moose, it's funny. You don't worry about it. It's funny. It's a different kind of funny.
Of course.
It's a different kind of funny. I mean, if you're comparing old school to Spaceballs, I mean, they're just two different kind of things. It's like
Understood.
that Spaceballs has to be in the realm of Airplane.
It does.
And
Airplane
and
is on the list.
Naked Gun.
Yes.
And that kind of funny.
That's funny because I used to think Airplane was the funniest movie of all time, and I still love it. It will always remain on my list, but those jokes, some of it just doesn't hold up anymore. But I still love it. So, tell me about this. Like Coming to America,
Always is
it
funny.
will always hold up, right?
It will always hold up.
I agree. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Have you given that one a shot in the last 5 years?
No,
Not good.
Not good.
Not
Okay.
paging Mr. Herman. That's the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah,
It's very
it was.
great.
I agree with you, and this may not make people happy, but I think Ace Ventura is kind of tough now. Like I don't think it's the greatest that it was when it first came
I
out.
haven't seen it, but I would guess you're right. We should probably give it a shot again. I bet we wouldn't think it's
Are
fun.
you asking me to watch a movie with you?
Actually, while we were on the trip, we listened to a couple podcasts, and they were like, if you don't take Hank to a movie within the next month, this is my family.
Yeah.
We're going to be very upset with you.
They
Dad.
should be.
Okay, so we'll get that in. And so maybe Ace Ventura, also went even further back to elementary school or early junior high. There was a movie called Fletch. There was a movie called Three Amigos. Do you remember those?
Heck yeah, the Three Amigos.
I thought back in the day, Three Amigos was the best. I wonder if it holds up.
I don't know now, man.
I wonder.
I don't know.
The ones that I know, though, will hold up are Old School, Anchorman, Hangover, and Wedding Crashers. Those will never get old.
Never.
Got to be good.
Ever.
I haven't watched this in forever because Dumb and Dumber was my top 3 of all time funnies. Do you think that's still funny?
I think it's still funny.
Do you?
I do. I think it's funny because you can see I can see Harris watch it. I saw him watch it for the first time.
Okay,
and he thought it was hilarious.
Oh, good. So that's always important if the younger generation can watch it and think it's funny. That's important.
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious, but he's also a 12-year-old boy.
Right.
I mean, they talk about 12-year-old boys.
Yeah.
It's like two 12-year-old boys.
Sure. So anyway, I was just curious. So that will be our movie date. We'll pick a couple and we'll watch them and we'll come back and report to the audience if they hold up or not.
Can we do it before the first day of school? We'll just keep that timeline?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
put
just
that
keep
one on
that
the list.
timeline.
Yes.
Okay.
One more thing related to school. So my daughter Olivia is studying.
She's a senior, right?
She'll be a senior next year. So they gave her all these things to read. We had to do summer reading. Well, her summer reading is Macbeth by Shakespeare.
Oh, delightful book.
Oh, what a fabulous book. And so she was like, Dad, do you remember Shakespeare? I was like, yeah, Olivia, but that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember the story of Macbeth. I remember nothing. And she kind of got frustrated by that, which I understand because you want your dad to have all the answers. And this one doesn't have many when it comes to, Shakespeare.
Or math.
Yes,
or anything.
or anything. Because to be quite honest, I don't ever really think I read Macbeth. Olivia, I'm sorry. I think it was strictly Cliff Notes. And I still probably struggled knowing what they were talking about.
That's a big step for you
I'm honest.
to admit that. It's a big step.
I know I'm being honest here on the mic for the first time ever, but yes, it was the Cliff Notes, and yeah, so we're here in the honest circle
the
here,
trust tree.
the trust tree. We're in the trust
We're
tree.
in the trust
Is there
tree.
anything
No,
you-
Macbeth was read.
Did you read it?
I'm pretty sure I read it.
No, come on. Cliff Notes.
I'm pretty sure I read it.
Okay, whatever. So anyway, this is my apology out to Olivia and to any other Shakespearean fans. I cannot get down with Shakespeare. Just can't do it. I don't think I ever will. I think I remember maybe trying to act like I was romantic and being a big Shakespeare fan and a poet when I was trying to woo Jennifer, whatever, as a young buck. But I can't lie anymore.
Can't do it anymore?
I can't do it anymore. Shakespeare's not for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's all right that you admit it.
Yeah. So, while we're here, our producer's putting up 7 best Macbeth adaptations.
Yep.
So maybe I can get into some Shakespeare by watching one of these, but probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this is probably not going to be the one. 3 of the 4 are Macbeth. I mean, it's just the movie.
Yes.
I was there's more
4,
than that.
yes. Oh wow,
That's more than that. I was hopeful.
They're
that
all
there-
Macbeths.
They're all
all
Macbeths.
Macbeths.
So it's just redos of Macbeths in some director's own way.
In other words, watch the movie so you don't have to read the Cliff Notes.
Very smart, Moose. Very smart. Speaking of Moose, who is our producer, the best producer, I'd say, in Hickory, North Carolina. So he has got a couple really good shows coming up at the Hum. And so this weekend is the Extraordinaires that are on Saturday. And then the following weekend, Moose, if you can speak to this just a little bit, they're called the Fritz, right?
Yeah, they are the Fritz.
They
man.
are the Fritz.
They are nuts. They're so good. Don't miss that.
I have heard that if at all of the lineup that has been brought to Hickory so far, this one is the one to see. Of course, we want to see all of them, but this is the one to see. So
Yeah, I've been trying to get these guys for a long time, and their schedules just we were able to get them, and man, Hickory's got to show out for this one. It's going to be great.
awesome. Well, the word has already been spread. I was at tennis the other day, and everybody was talking about, are you going? Are you going? So hopefully it'll be a big, big turnout, and we'll show the Fritz that Hickory supports them, and we really are into some live music for sure. Hank, anything going on this weekend, buddy?
We're going to play a last baseball tournament. So we're going to go do that in Nashville. But, it's kind of nice because then, summer, you don't have any obligations for the rest of summer unless we want to make an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is kind of our last hurrah for our baseball season. A question for you, though.
Shoot.
I'm sitting over here and I'm trying to piece together our podcast and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I believe I didn't realize this, but you're wearing a mustache now.
I have had a mustache for, I'd say, last month.
Okay, so you're
Yes.
you're a mustache guy now.
For this month. We'll see
Okay.
what happens next
I
month.
can't wait to see your new sports car and your denim jacket in the fall.
Because I go through waves. I had the mullet. We call it the Falcon. Do you
Okay,
remember the
yeah, I
Falcon?
do,
I had
I
the
do.
Falcon very tight in the sides. It was long in the back. And that transferred to now the mustache.
The mustache.
Yes.
Okay, well, I just got to tell you, I'm a big fan.
Thank you very
I'm
much,
a big
buddy.
fan.
Thank you
I
very
you were
much.
hiding behind the microphone, then you picked out, and I said, "Whoa!"
I saw it smiling at you like
That's
Magnum
a-
PI.
That's a
Yes,
masterpiece of
that's
one. No, that's good.
beautiful.
No,
It's
how about your
beautiful.
weekend? What are we doing?
Well, I'm playing in a golf tournament, and I get to play with my friend Jeff Osborne.
Oh.
Yes, and so it's called the Shuford International, something at Catawba Country Club, and it's 2 days. You play 18 and 27 and all these different formats, like nine holes against other people. And this is crazy. One of my buddies who I met in Raleigh, who now lives in Charlotte, that I see once a year during the fantasy football draft. He's a big-time golfer. And just out of the blue, I haven't talked to him in 9 months. And he said, man, any chance you're playing in a golf tournament? The name of the club is CCC. And I was like, yeah, that's Catawba Country Club. I'm playing in it. He said, I'm coming down Thursday. I'm spending
wow.
the whole weekend in Hickory.
Who's he staying with?
I say in Hickory, it's like Conover,
Yeah.
it's Denver actually is where he is. And he's staying with him for the whole weekend. So he'll be at the golf tournament, and he's a load of fun. Alan Toomis, if you're listening, which I believe you are a listener to the Big Fan, looking forward to spending some time with you. He's a really good golfer. And
So is this through Catawba Country Club? Or like, is he coming to play with a
he's
member?
coming to play with a member, and I didn't recognize his buddy's name, but I'm sure I'll get a chance to meet him. So really looking forward to doing that. And then we're going to go check out the Extraordinaires at the Hum on Saturday evening. So my wife has put a big group together. We're all going out there Saturday night, so it should be a whole lot of fun. Tickets are on sale, and I think the doors open at 7-ish. Is that right? Yeah, 7 o'clock Saturday, July 16th. And don't forget, 12 and under, kids are free. Adults paying at the door $10. Should be a lot of fun, a lot of good music coming to Hickory. Yeah, Hank, so with that being said, buddy, I know we got a lot of stuff to do tonight. We've got our summer tennis league.
Yep.
Is the third week is tonight. Hopefully the rain will hold off and we'll get another W for Team East.
I'm looking forward to playing. I haven't been able to play yet because of vacation, stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to play.
Next,
Put me in.
Next week you're in for sure. And besides that, buddy, that's going to wrap us up for this edition of Big Fan. We look forward to speaking to you in 2 weeks when we do have a special surprise. Moose, I was going to run this by you. Shark Week starts July 27th. Olivia's science teacher, Mr. Ruff, would like to come in here. We can ask any questions about sharks specifically, but anything, space, aliens, plants, any science, any question
That
about
was the weirdest plants.
plants, any question about science that you have, Hank, Mr. Ruff will be here and will be able to answer those for us.
Okay.
Science
guy.
Science guy. we're bringing it to the audience because it's Shark Week.
Okay.
You know, it's Shark Week. So
All right.
get your shark questions.
ex-
If anybody
Does it
wants
have to be Shark Week?
No,
Yeah,
it could be anything, but we're bringing them
Can
in
we
just
not have like a heavy dose of alien crap?
we're going to have a couple questions. Have you know about the Webb telescope that we're seeing the beginning of how the universe started? Now it's 13.3 billion years. They thought it was 13.8. It's 13.3. They're seeing light.
What is this going to do for us?
It's going to tell us where we came from, man. That's what it's going to do for us. It's
Okay.
going to unlock your mind.
Okay.
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 Okay. So be paying attention. Webb telescope. It's all over the news. You can't
It's
miss
all
it.
over.
It's all over the news.
Dark web. It's all over. It's all over the Inquirer. None of the news I want to look at has the web.
Trust me, if he could put up Webb telescope on here right now, it'd
On
pop
the
up
internet, it'd come up?
pop up a
On the
million.
internet, it would
Yes,
come
it'd
up?
pop up a million things.
Unbelievable.
You don't have to do that right now.
Look, it won't even allow it.
It took us to these dark websites. Cannot enter. Cannot enter.
Aliens, they're keeping us from it. That's the aliens work
That's
right there.
That's what it looks like right there. Look how gorgeous those images are coming from Webb.
Isn't this like? And this is like the size of a quarter in the sky. I did see something about this.
You mean when it's? What do you mean? The Webb telescope is it's a million miles from us already. It's in the middle of space, taking images and shooting them back to us. Million miles in space. It's unbelievable.
When did they launch this thing?
I can't remember.
Moses do that for us?
No,
I
it
mean,
just
send
moves
it
at
off
a
a
very
million.
rapid speed. Very, very rapid speed. Anyway, these are questions you can ask Mr. Ruff when he gets here.
I'd like
when
to
we
know.
talk to him about sharks.
They sent it off. It's millions of miles away, and they sent it off Christmas of
yes,
2021.
that's how fast it's traveling. It's unbelievable. It's technology.
You're right.
That's
It's
$4
unbelievable.
It's $4 billion satellite. You know.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And it's funny how it says 10 billion right
Oh.
here.
Well, 10 billion. It started at $4 whatever budget. Now
Whatever
it was
budget.
supposed to be $4. Now it's $10 billion US dollars.
Okay, well,
see,
you know.
see what you learn here.
Yeah, I know that it's got a 66 by 46 sun shield on it.
Gotta have the sun shield.
Don't want to get any close to the sun with that.
Gotta have the sun shield. Well, anyway, I look forward to our next episode where Mr. Ruff will be here, hopefully, and we can discuss anything you want to about science. Exciting.
It is exciting. I can't wait.
All right, happy birthday to Harris.
Yep.
Talk to you guys later. Peace.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.